All right, it's 1:30 already. So, hi everyone, welcome to the E27 webinar. So, my name is Anissa from the E27 content team. It's so good to see you all here again today. A little bit about this weekly event. So, we started the E27 webinar series to facilitate learning and development of the startup community in Southeast Asia. Every 2 weeks, we bring in expert speakers from the region to share their experiences and best practices on contemporary challenges. Now, kindly note that this session is recorded and we will be sharing the video post on our site later today. Now, so what's on the menu for today? So we are going to be having a conversation with the founder and CEO of B2B software as a service company, PatSnap, Jeffrey Tiong. Hi, Jeffrey.
Hi, Anissa. Hi, everyone. Yep.
Okay, so before this session, Jeffrey has written an article about how the COVID-19 pandemic, despite of its challenges, actually helped the company to pivot their growth strategy. And today, in this webinar, he's going to explain more details about how they did that. So yes, Jeffrey, time and place is yours.
Yep. Thank you for E27 to hosting this, organize this as well, and thank you everyone for taking your time this afternoon to join this session. Yeah, I will be using the next 20 minutes or so to share about my experience about how we actually pivot our strategy because of COVID-19, and we just ended our Q2 quarter as well, and so far I will say the preliminary result has been good. So thought would be good to use this session to share some of my experience, and hopefully they will be of some use to everyone here. So just I think one thing that I definitely am a strong believer in this is I think what best captured by Charles Darwin quote here. It is not the strongest that survive, but the most adaptable to change that survive. I think that is so true, or even more true in today's hyper competitive business environment, especially with so many uncertainty around. So especially with COVID-19. So that has been my my motto as well. Looking back, my last couple of years running PatSnap, starting from a garage and until today, we have offices around the world. I think what it has been fulfilling, yet at the same time is challenging as well to adapt to change. But we have to, of course, I will guess everyone rationally can understand this quote, but when come to change, always come with some pain. So hopefully today, after I share my own experience, at least it serve a good indicator for everyone to at least open to this aspect of change as well. And just want to put into context how COVID-19 has changed the world. So I'm sure everyone here have definitely have been tracking how COVID-19 is going, the cases, the economy. This is one aspect from the outlook growth projection. I actually just found this online. Just try to put a before and after. This is the forecast by International Monetary Fund by IMF in January 2020. Before the whole thing explode, and you can see they're expecting the world 2019 is 2.9%, 2020 3.3, 3.4%. Basically everyone is growing, from United States to Europe to Latin America to Asia. And this is the latest one in June. In fact, they've revised twice. In February, March they have one, and June they revise it further down. So this is in June. The projection for the world GDP growth, 2020 was negative 4.9%. And then the advanced economy, negative 8%, and developing market, negative 3%. That is the type of change we are experiencing in a short span of few months' time. And this is still changing every day. It is still a lot of uncertainty. I just read the news. U.S. cases, I think is fifth or sixth consecutive day, highest number of cases again. So it's just there's so much uncertainty. So that is the world we are living at now. So and And to coming back to PatSnap, our goal from day one, since I started PatSnap 13 years ago, is to empower innovators and help to make the world a better place. What we do, PatSnap, we actually provide innovation, intelligence to our customer around the world. So by aggregating all the different innovation data set, which includes patents data, journal paper, startup funding news, government grant data, all sort of any news or technical data that related to R&D and innovation. That is what we do. And then we use machine learning, process it, and provide it to our users so that our users can use our platform to make a more informed R&D decision, to know where to invest in the R&D, especially there's so much competition out there. That is what we do in a nutshell. And just to share a bit our history of growth for the last couple of years, it has been what I will call a sales-led growth. What do I mean by that is there are the customer out there around the world, be it in China, in Europe, in US. So we have a team of sales team or inside sales team where our sales team will approach the customer, will cold call them, will ask them, hey, are you interested in this solution that can help you to do XYZ? And if they are interested, if the prospect is interested, then we'll go through our typical funnel. We qualify them. We will talk to them, do a demo, and once they agree to purchase, then we will onboard them, and then they go to customer success. We will continue to serve them so that they continue to be our customer. Okay, as since we are a SaaS business model. So that is a history of PatSnap, how we grow. What I will sum it up as sales-led growth, where we send our sales team out there in the world, knock on the door of a customer door. Nowadays, we'll be using Zoom, using cold call to approach them and let them aware of our product, and then be interested in our product, and then hopefully purchase our product. So what has we changed according with how the software world is changing, and also because of COVID-19 as well, is even this trend has been happening even before COVID-19, where at least in the enterprise setting, how company and enterprise nowadays buy software, they are not a top-down driven anymore. What I mean by that is during the 1980s, 1990s era, the SAP of the world, the Oracle of the world, the Microsoft of the world, they will send salesperson, expensive salesperson wearing a suit, go down, wine and dine with the customer and say, hey, Mr. Customer, Mr. CIO, this is the business case. If you spend 1 million with us, we are going to save you 10 million, or we're going to help you make $20 million. And once the C-suite find that solution makes sense, do a proof of concept, then they will purchase the software sometimes without even testing the software themselves or using the software themselves. And then the 2000 era, I will say the executive, where the department manager now have the power and the budget to purchase software themselves. And this is, I would say, where PatSnap started as well. We call them up, hey, Mr. Head of R&D, or Head of Department, will you be interested in this software that costs you 50K, 100K? We can do a web demo to you. If you like it, you can buy. Everything is hosted on the cloud. So that will be the last 10, 20 years. Salesforce coming from this world, HubSpot also from this world as well. And nowadays, I will argue that actually users are entering the end user era, where, like for example, the software we are using now, Zoom, is the best example, Slack, where the user themselves actually have a say on which software they want to buy. And if they love it, they will report up to the IT manager or the department manager and say, hey, manager, you should buy this software. We all love using this software. That is what I will call the end user era, or the bottom-up approach. And that is the era we are living now. So that is kind of a wider trend that has been ongoing for the last few years. I think it's just COVID-19, in my belief, COVID-19 has accelerated this trend further. So the end user era is here, and this new way of growing your business, at least for our software business, is what I will call product-led growth. And what I mean by that is, so this is another example. So Slack actually solving the end user problem. I hate internal email. I don't like file sharing for Dropbox. I hate web conferencing, and all this software actually solve the end user problem, and the end user really happy, and the end user tell their manager, say company should buy this software. That is how it works. And with that, that also comes to how PatSnap has adapted our strategy to a product-led growth. So borrowing from how we did in the past sales-led growth, essentially because of COVID-19, the last 4-5 months, we have adapted our process, our customer acquisition process with a more product-driven, a product-led kind of motion to drive our new sales and growth. And I would say it has worked quite well for us, even in the last 4-5 months. So there are customers still the same out there. And of course, we also still do the marketing, have inbound marketing, we have webinar, we have SEO, SEM, content marketing to help generate awareness. But at the same time, we add a piece to the whole process that what we call product-led, where we offer our product for free in one way or the other. First of all, we during the COVID-19, we offer all our product, everything for free for a period of time. So because we have operation in China, COVID-19 started in January, late January. So we offer all our product, the whole suite of our product for free in Q1 in China. Everyone in China, as long as they apply for it, they can use our product for free in Q1. And in Q2, we did the same for our American and European customer as well. They can use all our product for free. And because of that, I will say that actually generate a lot more leads, a lot more customer interest in our product, because now they can test it out. They can try our software first, even before our salesperson talk to them. I think that make a whole lot of difference. In the past, imagine if you are a customer and a random person call you up and say, hey, who and who will you be willing to try? I think there will be quite a lot of hindrance, like you will not like really want to do it if a stranger try to offer you something, unless you maybe heard of that name before, maybe heard of that product or company brand before. So it's actually quite tough. But now that, because we tell the customer and say, hey, use our product first, if you love it, then we talk. I think that totally changed the whole customer acquisition model for us, and that also improved a lot of other things. First, it helped us to cast our net wider. It improved the leads number we can generate. Secondly, when the customer, after they try our product and they are truly interested, then they talk to us, then our conversion rate of the funnel is also much higher. Our customer acquisition cost is also lower as well. So that is what I will say a product-led growth. And not just us, I will say like Zoom, for example. We can all use Zoom for free for up to 40 minutes or up to 2 person. If you want more, then you pay for it. I think this is the whole premise behind this product-led growth. This freemium model or a free trial model or any other model that I will say using your product to be the spokesperson, using your product to reach out to the customer out there, let them use and let them see the value first, even before we send our salesperson to talk to them. That I will say is the new era on how to build at least a software company, a product-led growth. And yeah, that I would say in the last 5 months, PatSnap offer our product for free in 3 continents, because we have our offices in Europe, in US to China. And I would say even China and US, the market is very different. This same strategy work for us. And later I have some data to show, quite interesting as well. So, and I would like to a bit go deeper exactly what we do during the last 5 months in this whole product-led motion. First, as I mentioned, we offer all our product for free. So on our website, we offer everything for free. Like this one, we just ended this until 30th June. So our customer in US, in Europe, they can use our product for free when we offer this during Q2. But what I call a free trial motion. The second one, which we have launched as well, is what we a freemium website where you don't even need to apply. You just come to this website, connectedinnovation.io, type in any company name, you can see the innovation profile of a company for free. And if the user like it, they can contact us, and then we'll send to our sales team, and then we will connect with them and talk more. So this is, it's just free. So what I call a lead generation freemium motion. The third one that we are doing along this line as well is we have made the whole onboarding process much easier, much user friendly. In the past, we offer our because we have salesperson to serve them, and after they buy our software, we have dedicated customer success rep to help them to onboard, to teach them how to use the software. So if we want to be a product-led growth, our product need to be simple enough that without anyone teaching you, you can also use the software yourself. Just like now we are using Zoom. I don't think Zoom send a salesperson to any one of us here and say, hey, this is how you click on a video sharing. They don't have anyone serving us, but we are still using it. We learn it ourselves, and we even pay for it, some of us. So that is the goal. If you want to be product-led growth, not just offering a product for free, because even you can say, yes, I'm offering my product for free, but if the user can't use it on their own, this strategy doesn't work as well. So at the same time, we have to make our product very easy to sign up and to use as well. And fourth one, from a company perspective, after we offer the product for free, after it's easy to use, the story doesn't end there as well. We internally need to track every single step of it to know that why this user, after they only log in for 1 minute and they are not using anymore, what is the issue with the product? How come this user, they say they're interested, they apply for a free trial, but they actually never log in? This happened for our China customer. So we in Q1, when we offer this, we have, I think, tens of thousands of users apply for the free trial. They say they want, they register for it, and then we actually open the account for them. But more than half never actually log in for once. So they say they want, but they never even turn out. Just like I think same for the webinar. I think maybe a lot of people say, I want to attend a webinar, but during the webinar time, some of them don't turn out. So we need to find out why. So this is the what I call AARR funnel: acquisition, activation, retention, revenue, referral. I think you can all search online. AARR is a lot of articles around this. How do we at every step of this find out what exactly happened, and how do we fine tune it and make it better? The conversion rate along this line. And this funnel is slightly different from a traditional funnel. SQL, MQL is different. This is a product-led growth funnel. So that also what we do. I will say PatSnap, step 1, step 2 we have done. We have done already, and step 3, step 4 we are also just started for the last 4-5 months. But one thing, I may jump to this slide. So when we turn on this product-led growth in end January, you can see this is the number of leads before February. So before the COVID-19 happened, this is the number of leads we generate. And after February, even though with COVID-19, even though all of our employees work from home, it's such a big change, but our interest, customer interest in our software, the number of leads we generate is even much higher than Q4 and Q3 last year. So that I would say is very promising result that we have. And this definitely set the stage for us from a whole company-wide. We will double down on this product-led growth. And I would say also key these few factors to be in place. This whole product-led growth, having product to even free our product for a period of time. We actually thought of that internally with our team even a year ago or 2 years ago, but we get a lot of kickback. Our salesperson first jump out and say, hey, no, how can you free the product? Then how do I close my customer? They will not buy. It's in my funnel. If you free the product, I cannot close my deal. I cannot earn my commission. A lot of kickback. But with COVID-19, I think it really provides a lot of a good timing, a window for us. I'm saying, guys, look at it. COVID-19, no one will come and it's much harder for you to cold call them. Let's try this out. Let's offer our product for free, generate interest, generate leads, and then we talk to them. I would say this timing is important. COVID-19 provides us a good timing for us to make this big change. I would say big change, because not just sales being impacted, all other departments from marketing to product to our operation all being impacted. Because now when a customer try it, they need to accept a term and services condition like the online and say I accept your term and condition. In the past, we actually send a contract to our customer, they accept it, use DocuSign, but now because of its free trial, everything changed. So our operation also changed. So it changed everyone. And I would say COVID-19 provides the timing, the window is good. We need employee buy-in, definitely. We need everyone to buy into this motion. And of course, the product must be good enough such that the user find it useful and they can use it themselves. So I would say these are the three key ingredients that to make this, at least for PatSnap ourselves, an early success we have experienced. So that is our story. So, and I will actually end with this quote. This is from Satya Nadella, CEO of Microsoft, just I think 2-3 months ago when they have their quarterly earnings. So we have seen 2 years worth of digital transformation in 2 months time. I think this best capture what happened in the last few months. So I would say some of the examples I share, or most of the examples I share, may be pertaining to software business, but I would say it should apply to any other business as well. I think first is we definitely have to change. COVID-19 has changed the world. We have to change ourselves and our business as well. And secondly, I think the essence here is, of course, for us software business, we can offer our software offering for free to use this product-led growth. But I would imagine that for any other businesses, the same as well. If you can provide value to your customer first, if you can provide some form of value to your customer first and say, hey, let's do more. If you're interested, let's do more business together. I think that will change the business. In fact, maybe this is just a small example I suddenly thought of. During COVID-19 in Singapore, I think just everyone have to take out some restaurant, even though take out, and especially the more high-end restaurant, they still have the same menu. So you still have to pay like the same $100-200 for a few dish to take out. To me, it just doesn't make sense. It's COVID-19. I'm not even in your restaurant. I'm not experienced the atmosphere of the restaurant. It still charge me the same. And some restaurant actually, I find it that did well. So some restaurant actually come out a COVID-19 menu that for their normal good stuff, they charge $50 for a dish. They come out a $30 dish that together with few other dish and make it a smaller pack and then for takeout. Those I will say good practice that adapt according to the COVID-19 situation as well and provide some different value to our customer. So I will say that I think definitely there are ways for us to improve our business, to find ways to serve our customer better, and then digitization of course is one, and we have to adapt ourselves as well if we want to continue to survive, continue to thrive in this very uncertain world. So with that, I end my presentation. Hopefully that is useful for everyone and open up for Q&A.
All right, thank you very much, Jeffrey. That was very eye-opening presentation from you. So now we are going to the Q&A session. If you have any questions, comments, or anything for Jeffrey, feel free to use the Q&A feature that we have on the platform. And now while we wait for the questions to come in, then I would like to start with my own questions first. So when PatSnap transitioned to the product-led growth strategy, what was the greatest challenge that you have to face? Because you mentioned like you have to convince some employees, but what is actually the greatest challenge that you face and how did you deal with it?
Yes, I think not just this change in our company strategy, but also COVID-19 change, working from home. So the biggest challenge for me, for us personally, because PatSnap today we have 700 employees globally in China, in London, in Toronto, in US. So to make sure when everyone is feeling a lot of anxiety, very anxious because of COVID-19, and they are working alone from home, and we are saying, hey guys, we are going to change this, change that. The biggest challenge or the activity that took the most of my time is communication. Need to do a lot of communication to let everyone to really understand what is going on, how I look at the business, why we are making this change, is that transparency and over communication. And because of COVID-19, every week now we have a weekly town hall huddle. All few hundred employees join us together, and I will share with them what is going on the last 1 week, what kind of change we have made, what are some of the updates in different departments, so that everyone feel that they know what is going on, feel calmer, feel they are still part of the company. And from there, then I request that, hey, guys, we are making some changes here, and give them the context behind so that they can accept it better. So I will say, not challenge, but even in a normal time, it's a lot of communication we have to do to get everyone buy-in.
All right. Okay, I see. So yes, so right now we have questions coming in. So I'm going to start maybe with this one from Anonymous. Hi, Jeffrey. Thanks for sharing. How do you think we can shift from traditional MQL, XQL to product sales that you shared if the product itself are not ready or normally sold as a service?
Yes, yes. So there are different businesses. It's very different, so I can't comment on. For it depend really case by case. But I did actually share this when in April May I shared this experience with another entrepreneur who also offer software as a service business, and they also managed to find a way to actually carve out a part of their product, a feature or a module, an independent module out of their whole product suite, and offer that for free. So it really depends on your context, but I would say if you think hard enough, look at your product, because I believe in your service you offer, in the product you offer, there are many values. There are many value proposition. I think that there must be a way, a creative way to find one out of it that you can offer it for free, or some of the value in to a certain extent. I strongly think so. There are ways that we can do better. Like the example, my own experience with the restaurant in Singapore. Like even this restaurant that I know, that there used to be I think a Michelin chef restaurant. They actually still can innovate. Instead of they're selling 100 bucks a dish, 50 bucks a dish, they repackage their food and offer like a 50 bucks. You can taste three dishes at one go, but smaller portion. So I'm sure there are many different ways to reconfigure your services. Yeah.
All right, thank you. Hope that answers the question. Yes, so we have another question from anonymous user. Would you see this model work for a product that is still at an early stage of development or MVP? And if so, what would your recommendation or tips be?
For an early stage of product.
Early stage of development, an MVP.
Okay.
Yeah.
MVP, yes. I from an entrepreneur point of view, I would say anything is possible. In fact, I would say because the COVID-19 has changed the world, it make it harder. Basically, the bar is higher now. So if you don't try to make your product to be more accessible by as many people as possible for free or in some other way, I think that is as hard as well. So might as well tackle this, like find a way, even if MVP or any product configuration, find a way to reach to the potential market wider, better, by using some form of this strategy. Yeah.
Okay, I see. But now I'm also curious, is there any particular risk that founders need to be aware of when they are trying this approach?
Yep. I would say not risk, but there are definitely new additional things we have to consider. So some of the example I just gave as well, because we are changing the way that we acquire customer. In the past, when the customer say they want to buy, then we sign a contract with them. But now because it's a free trial, so we have to change our contract signing process. Instead of they come, we send a DocuSign to them. Now we put it on the website. They need to tick and say, I accept your terms and conditions before they use our software. Just a lot of changes behind the scene as well. So it may be invisible to the customer, but if you want to change this, my advice is you have to be prepared. Your whole company DNA have to change as well. Your whole company process, your back end process, your back office process, your everyone, the mindset have to start shifting as well in order to fully capture or maximize this strategy. Yeah.
Okay, I see. Right, hope that answers the questions. And we have another one from an anonymous attendee, and they have basically 3 questions in a row, all of them related to customer retention. The first one would be, what are the strategies to convert trial customers to permanent customers?
Okay, what are the strategy to convert trial customer to pay customer? Yeah. Yes, so there are many out there. Actually, if you go look at the search for Google, there are a lot of writing up there. But I can share from our own experience, from trial to pay customer. So for us, we actually, because it's COVID-19, we also offer incentive for the customer, so that they say, hey, if you sign up during this before your free trial ends, you are going to get additional 2 months or 3 months more subscription as compared to a typical subscription period. So, or other we have tried, if you sign up before your free trial end, you will get 80% of the normal price. These are some of the things we use, which is quite common to other like trial program as well. So these are some that help us to convert the free trial customer to pay customer better. Basically give them a little bit sense of urgency, time urgency, and a little bit of incentive to help make them jump through the hurdle and say, let's pay for this software. Yeah.
Okay, I see. And now the next question that they ask is that, what are some of the demand generation engagement that you think is the most effective?
Demand generation campaign engagement. To me, I actually see this freemium product is the best demand generation. So just now I shared that we offer it for free, because this free, everyone want to come and test for it and want to try it. So this, I would say, is a form of demand generation campaign compared to the traditional one, which we still do. We host webinar like this, but my team will host with our industry expert. So we'll invite our industry expert, and then they will sign up. And then if you're after the webinar, if you're interested, please log on to patsnap.com to find out more. This is a form of demand generation, but the traditional one. But to me, making some form of your product or your product for free is the best demand generation.
Okay, I see. And then their next question would be, best strategies for customer retention.
That one is a combination of a different department as well. First, your product really have to generate value, deliver value to the customer, and also you keep improving. Because a lot of our customer, they are willing to partner with us because they also see that our product keep improving day to day. So we have 200 engineers here, and they are working every 1-2 weeks. We have new feature launch. So I think the product innovation is key. The second one is I would say it's still good to have good customer service, which for us, we actually have a department called customer success, that this department will talk to our customer and say, hey, any additional help you need, how we can better serve you, we can better serve your business objective through our service or software. So I would say a good customer success department and continuous product innovation that deliver value to customer is key.
Okay, I see. Now for the next question, also from an anonymous user, and this is also something I'm curious about. So are there any reduction in your sales force after implementing the product-led growth strategy? And if not, then how exactly are their function changed here?
Yeah, in fact, I would say we are hiring more salesperson now. So in Q3, Q4, we are doubling down. We are hiring 50 to 70 more new salesperson, because we have more demand now. We need more sales. We still need salesperson to close the deal for us. So at least, so actually we are even hiring more salesperson. How the salesperson role change? Yes, so some part of it change. So instead, in the past, they are more outbound call. Our salesperson cold call our customer. They need to find the customer contact. They need to do the first cold call. Now their role shift a little bit more to how to show even more value to our customer and how to close the deal, because we have a more inbound leads inquiry. So now they can work on that, and instead of focusing on outbound call, they can now focusing on later stage of the funnel, which is demonstrating further value from our software and to close the deal.
Right. Okay. Thank you. That's interesting. Yes. So we have answered this one, and there are also questions related to managing a remote working environment here. Like for example, the one from Dimitri. His question is, what would you recommend to maintain communication in a remote environment? How to let people provide market feedback without face-to-face meetings?
Yep. We have a few ways. So typically one even before now we have been working. We don't meet with our customer directly. We actually do everything online like Zoom. So we have the customer success team that I mentioned. This customer success team will keep track, will keep a close communication with our customer all the time, and they will get the feedback from our existing customer, and they will then relay this feedback to our product team. So that is definitely one way. The other way also, actually even during COVID-19, we actually launched a survey to the wider, to everyone out there, and ask them, hey, what do you need the most now? So we actually got very good response rate on our survey, and from the survey we get a sentiment of what the customer feel, what the customer need during this COVID-19, and then we think of services to address them. So and the rest, the third one is, I would say, just for us, yes, we are remote. So I join, like me and my team will join on some customer Zoom call. So they will call the customer, and I personally, as a CEO, will join the call. And then when the customer know that in like a key personnel from a company joining the call, they will appreciate it. First of all, they appreciate your time, and they will also provide good feedback to us. So these are some of the ways we do, at least for us.
All right, thank you. Yes, now let's look at all the questions again. And so there's another question also from Anonymous, and they would like to know, how do you stand out from competitors in the service industry and create demand from businesses which are tightening their belts during this pandemic period? So how do you convince them in a time like this?
Yeah. I will say yes, it's true. Company definitely tightening their belt, even for us. So when the pandemic hits, internally I review with our IT department to look at all the software purchase we are buying and see which one we can cut, which one we can reduce, which one we can remove. So definitely company will do that. End of the day, I think it go back to the core of your business is what value are you generating. If that value is strong enough. I don't have a simple answer for everyone here. It's also case by case basis, but I will say end of the day, people will still willing to pay for something that they find it valuable and cannot find it elsewhere. As yes, maybe some services may be the same actually, but there are still ways to differentiate. There's still way, maybe from your customer service, from your attitude, from how you serve the customer, from like you are very friendly all the time, just hey, customer, I'm there all the time for you. The customer can feel it. A lot of time customer buy not just for the product, but they buy because of you, because of the person, the people. So I think all this you can differentiate. You can differentiate from a company culture. Like this earlier today, I just came into contact with some another provider, and talking to their reps or to their service provider, it just their service provider is very monotone, it's not very excited, not passionate. Like I would say like, hey, I'm paying you money and you are not that, like it's okay but not wow me. I would say if another exact same organization provide me the same value but it's just more engaging, more energy, I would say I will go with them. So I believe there are many ways to differentiate.
Okay, I see. And now this next question is actually quite related to the previous one. We see a slowdown in enterprise sale contracts given the situation right now. And would you advise startups to avoid these enterprise contracts due to the long sales and approval cycle?
Yeah, this is not a simple question. I think this it depends on your runway, how much cash runway you have. If you only have, let's say, 3 to 6 month runway cash remaining in the business, and that typically is maybe because it's a typically 3 to 6 months, but definitely it will extend for sure. So it depends on many combination factor, but I will say yes, definitely find a way to shorten your sales cycle. Find a way to I would say a bird in hand is better than no bird at all. So I would say try to close something now than going for a longer, bigger sales deal. Let's say it's a 100K deal for 6 months. See if you can structure it such that, hey, Mr. Customer, let's sign a 20K deal now. We provide this value to you first. I would say for now, definitely anything we can close the deal sooner is better. Yeah.
Okay, and the next question is also related to that. Did you have to change your business model or contract length during the period as the money is tighter right now?
Do I have to train my business model? In essence, our business model is still the same. So for PatSnap, we charge our customer as a subscription model. They pay us a annual subscription fee, and then we offer our service. So on a wider lens, we didn't change our business model. I will say because of COVID-19, because we now apply product-led growth, we change how internally how we better serve our customer using the same business model. Yeah.
All right. Okay, I see. Now we have a question here from one of our regulars, Daryl. Hi, Daryl. Do the tactics and efficacy of product-led growth strategies differ across different markets that you are operating in? Like, for example, how do customers in Singapore versus China versus US and the rest?
Yes, it's definitely different. It's still different. With or without product-led growth, the market is different. In China, doing business in China, it's just different. You have to work with the government authority. You have to work with the It's a lot more different. And Singapore, Southeast Asia is also different. US is very different. In fact, US and European also very different, even though they speak English or this. It's very different. So it's my belief internally that the globalization as we know the last 20-30 years is gone. It's definitely gone. The next 2-3 decades, our next generation, our kids, and what we will experience the next few decades, the globalization will be very different. It will still be globalized, but it will be a very localized globalization. It will be very localized. So for us, PatSnap, actually way couple years ago, we already started how we run our business in China. We will have our own sales team, go-to-market team. They make their own decision on how to sell to China. In US, they make their own decision as well, and in Europe as well. Because imagine if your headquarters is in China and you say, guys, sitting in Shanghai office and say, guys, how do we sell to California and New York? That doesn't work. It just doesn't work. The culture is different. The decision making is much lower. Same thing if you are sitting in New York and say, guys, how we sell to Shanghai, I just don't believe it will work. Especially when each local market, they have many localized, hungry competitors. You can't compete in them when you are remotely working with them. So for us, how PatSnap run our business, our team, at least our sales team, they can make their decision in China for China market, US, Europe. That's the way how we can then compete faster or as fast as our competitor on the market, on the local market. Yeah.
Okay. So does having a product-led growth strategy actually make it easier for you guys in deciding like which strategy to implement? Yeah.
I would say product-led growth is one tool out of the toolkit we use. So it definitely make the existing go-to-market easier. We have one more tool to use. But for example, in China, we still have to work with government closely. But now that with product-led growth, we can work with government. So for example, just give an example. So we actually tell our government partner, the local science bureau, for example, because China, every district, every province, every city have their own authority. So actually now work with the local authority, like in this case in Shanghai and Suzhou, we work with them and say, Mr. Government official, we now have this offering for free. Can we partner with you? Because your objective is to raise your company's capability as well. China is pushing for more innovation, a better IP protection. So we work with the government official and say, hey, government official, we offer this for free through you. You hit your KPI, your company, you basically have better company in your district, and you can offer our product for free, win-win. So this is how we use our product-led growth to work with our partner, in this case, government official in China. And of course, in the West, then also slightly different as well.
Okay, I see. So now we have a question about pricing strategy. Could you share some learnings on how pricing strategy has changed on the traditional sales versus freemium model?
Yes, so that is the next step we are going to change. For now, we haven't. Yes, it will change. So traditionally, like without freemium, we have price X, Y, Z for different package. Now with freemium, we do have to even cut it more granular. So we have product, we have pricing A, B, C, X, Y, Z as well. So yes, on a longer term, yes, we will change our pricing strategy. But in the short term, that's why even product-led growth, there are different stages, different maturity. For us, now we are using product-led growth to generate leads. So in the end, still go to the salesperson to close. So we can still maintain the same pricing strategy. But in the long run, we will adapt our pricing strategy for if the customer say, I don't want to talk to salesperson at all. I want to just use my credit card and pay. Then I'll use my WeChat to pay. That definitely we have to change our whole pricing strategy.
Okay, I see. So now we have come to the last two questions, and most of them are looking for advice. Like the first one here is BU. Any advice from your experience? What are the do's and don'ts during the transition to pivoting stage?
What I understand, the pivoting, it can be pivot from anything to anything, and that means change. And actually, there's a whole field about change management. My experience is communication is the same. Because end of the day, if you want to change something, means you want to pivot to something, means you need to get some other people other than yourself to buy into to what you want to change to. And the buy-in is very key because we cannot do things ourselves. Like for me, with my 700 employees, like yes, I may be like, yes, guys, to do this. If I'm the only one that's shouting at it, and all these 700 people are saying, now forget it, Jeff, I don't buy in. I can't move the organization. So to influence them to buy in is key. And in order to influence them to buy in, you need to communicate with them with anything you can do. I communicate with them on email, on town hall meeting, on one-on-one, on everything, every format you can use to communicate with them in a clear way. And also when communicate with them, your energy, your passion, like I need to use all my energy to communicate with them. Guys, this is going to be it. Let's go for it. Instead of, guy, let's do it. I think we can. We maybe can do it. That one doesn't work as well. Just anything we can do to influence people to buy in. I think that is the key one to do during pivoting or any change. The dawn is the opposite of this. If you don't communicate well, then the chances of you hitting it is low. If you can't even get your immediate subordinate, your immediate leadership team to follow you, then it's even harder to get the wider team to follow you. So I think it's just really getting people buying is super key.
Okay, I see. Now for the last question, what advice would you give for an aspiring entrepreneur now to get started? Especially,
I will say, I mean, it's definitely hard. They are saying that a lot of great companies started during tough time, like a lot of good companies like started during the last financial crisis, 2007, 2008, like Uber of the world, many other companies of the world, and even the previous one. I will say, some people may say, yes, this is the best time to start a company. I will say it's still tough. No matter whenever good time or bad time, when you start, it's tough. I just think I do personally believe that to start to be an entrepreneur, you need luck as well. You need luck. Like looking at myself, yes, we work diligently. We work very, very hardworking. You need dedication. You need commitment. You need grit. But out of all this, also you need luck. I would just say if this is something you feel strongly about, you are passionate about, that you are willing to spend the next 3 to 5 years at least in your own business, you are willing to commit in that no matter what happen, then go for it. I think because this is our own life, we don't have and if you are unhappy with whatever you have now, or you feel strongly to do something you want to do, let's go for it. This is our own life. We decide on it.
Okay, I see. So now, as a closing, is there anything else that you would like to convey to the audience?
No, I thought today really a lot of questions, more questions than I expected. Yeah, yeah. I just thought really thank you everyone to joining this session. Thank you for your time. Hopefully this is useful. Hopefully if there's one takeaway point, from this session together that we have spent about 50 minutes together is there will be change. I think we can't avoid it. There will be more and more change, and we have to adapt to it. We have to adapt ourselves to adapt to it. Yes, I can. A lot of people can say many things. I can say a lot of things here as well. End of the day, the decision is yours, and have the courage and faith to make the change. That's all I want to share. Yep.
All right, great. Thank you, Jeffrey. And now, before we end this session, I would like to share some things with the audience. So we have see the presentation from Jeffrey, and I'd like to explain a little bit more about what we are going to have next week. So next week, we're back with Meet the VC, and this time we have one of the most active early stage venture capital firm in the region, which is East Ventures. I'm sure all of you are quite familiar with the name already. And we're going to sit down with Melissa Irene, partner at East Ventures, and we're going to understand more about their founding philosophy, upcoming rounds, and many more in this fireside chat. So tune in July 16, 1 to 2 p.m. Singapore time. And I would also like to explain a little bit about our E27 Pro membership plan. We already have like over 250 investors on board the program, and they're looking forward to connect to early stage tech startup for investment that is ranging from pre-seed to Series B rounds. So check out our membership program. The link is available on our website, or feel free to connect to our team to understand more about how it works. And meanwhile, if you have any questions or comments, we are always available on our social media and email, so feel free to reach out to us. And you can also join our Telegram channel for more of such community discussions. And we also like to remind you that we have a audience feedback survey ready, and please don't forget to fill it out. Do let us know if there is any particular topics or speakers that you would like to see in our next episodes of webinar. So yeah, that is the end of our session today. Thank you everyone for your questions. It's a very engaging and exciting discussion. And most of all, thank you very much for Jeffrey and PatSnap for taking the time to speak to us and to explain about this interesting topic. And all right, thank you everyone. Have a great day and take care.
Thank you everyone.
Bye. Thank you, Jeffrey.